Hello, and indeed, hello. Yes, it's week 2, and therefore episode 2 of Liquor and Lyrics. That's liquor as in drink. This is not an oral sex guide, and I really can't stress that enough. Yes, every week we have a couple of alcoholic drinks and really drill down into a song that's considered popular, but actually has some really rubbish lyrics. Basically, we haven't got the balls to tell the popular kids at school what we thought of them, so this is the next big thing. The writers of songs that peaked 40 years ago will be fuming when they hear about this, quaking in their mansions. I'm Nick, but I'm just one man, at best. With that in mind, let's bring in the brains of the operation, the looks of Kylie Minogue, the vocal abilities of Tina Turner, and the criminal record of Phil Spector. He has none of the above, probably on balance, for the best. It's Dan. Hello, Dan.
Sorry, you shot me there at the end. You didn't shoot me there at the end. I'm not Phil Spector. You shocked me there at the end. And I had my mouth and tongue wrapped around a straw. So it's not an oral sex guide. Repeat, it's not an oral sex guide. And you made me gag there with that. So there you go. Oh, again, not an oral sex guide.
I mean, shooting would have fit in well with the Phil Spector reference, to be fair.
It did, yeah.
It's like a latter-day Oscar Pistorius. Well, he just did it. No, didn't have self-defense to fall back on. Or try to.
Yeah, you just did it. Yeah, you just did it.
He just did it.
He just did it.
He did it.
Traditional criminal. Just did it.
He showed up in court and couldn't even be bothered to comb his hair or anything in court. He just looked like he'd been dragged through a hedge backwards. It's like, yeah, if I was the jury, I'd be like, yeah, why should he? Why should he indeed?
Someone in the music business, he ironically didn't put any stock in how people's appearance can adjust people's attitudes toward you. Ironically, perhaps not the song that people thought we would be talking about tonight, is it, Nick?
No, yes, you are absolutely correct, Dan. It is not the song that we were expecting to do. Mainly because I was listening to it and was just struck by. I just didn't want to be mean to a load of old white men, Dan, because they've suffered enough.
Well, I'm going to be mean to an old white man, because you taught me into doing that song. Despite me thinking that there wasn't much funny in it, apart from a couple of pretentious lines. I mean, quite pretentious lines. We'll do a little brief on that song we're talking about. Is Toto by Africa, as announced last week. And
it's Africa by Toto, actually.
I've had a bit of a drink, and I'm confused because I don't know what I'm doing. I've got this song, got that song, got this many songs over there.
Styling it out.
This song, that song, this song, that song. But,
which actually sounds like a bit like the song we're going to do.
It does, yeah, it does. So you decided that you lost confidence in it being amusing. You may as well give that one line.
Well, no, because now it won't be funny, will it? Now you've built up to it. But there's a line where
I've done it as punishment.
There's a line where he sings I bless the rains down in Africa in the chorus. It's like, well, if anyone should be blessing the rains, it should be the locals and not some white tourist coming from over the sea. If you're gonna they probably have a proper ceremony for blessing the rains. They probably have a specific rain blessing ceremony.
They do. They have a rain dance song.
Some tourist in his bloody Birkenstocks and his baseball cap.
Yeah, I think the one line that was it? No, I'm glad we didn't do it.
Well, this is what I was saying. The rest of it was going to be me whinging about that one line that as sure as Olympus, as sure as
Kilimanjaro, Olympus over the Serengeti.
Yeah. Which they'd already boxed themselves in from the first verse. They boxed themselves in with the number of syllables they needed to fit in, and then obviously just must have thought, "Oh my God, what are we going to do here?"
What it was on my research today that doesn't need to be used was that they used that as a placeholder lyric that they just didn't bother changing.
Now Paul McCartney did that when Paul McCartney woke up one morning and came up with Yesterday. And when he was singing, he didn't have any lyrics. He had the melody, but he didn't have any lyrics. So he was singing, instead of Yesterday my troubles were so far away, he sings Scrambled Eggs, oh my darling, how I love your legs. Mm-hmm. It's like, imagine he just kept the placeholder lyric. And
unfortunately, Danny Boyle used that song to make a placeholder film that no one wants. So we're not going to do that because as pretentious as it is, it might not be that funny, really, to put it so. And I think we just attested as to why. So what are we going to do, though, instead? Well, people will know from the title of this episode that
they will. Apart from the blind, Dan. Blind people can listen to podcasts as well.
For the blind people, then.
We are doing probably, I'd say, an 80s cult classic that broke into the mainstream. It is Rabbit by Chaz and Dave.
That was a hell of a way to describe Rabbit by Chas and Dave. An 80s cult classic that broke into the mainstream. I thought you were going to say, Echo and the Bunnymen or something like that.
Yeah.
Rabbit by
It's the
Chas and
Killing
Dave.
Moon.
Rabbit by Chas and Dave.
What a life! I think that was the point where I realised my life hasn't quite gone how I wanted. Just then, that was it. Just then.
Maybe that'll change though. Maybe you'll be an 80s cult classic that goes into the mainstream.
80s punt classic, more like.
Well, I didn't want to say it, but there you go. Shall we have a little listen to the aforementioned song then? Unfortunately.
Now you were just the kind of girl to break my heart in two. I knew right off when I first clapped my eyes on you. But how was I to know you'd bend my ear holes too? With your incessant talking, you're becoming a pest. Rabbit, 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 rabbit. Yeah, rabbit, rabbit, yeah, rabbit, 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 yeah, bunny, 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 jabba, jabba, bunny, jabba, rabbit.
There it is. One of the most annoying choruses of all time, some might say.
Yeah, I wish they'd give it a rest.
You love this song, don't you?
Yeah, well, Chas and Dave are one of my little. I mean, not like my all-time favourite. I don't want to say guilty pleasures because I don't feel guilty for anything. Not even the money I embezzle from the mountain rescue people. If there's a chance you need rescuing, just don't go for mountain. Simple. But I quite like it. Yeah, it's not my favourite of their songs. It's probably right down the list of their songs that I like. But it's got a nice groove to it. But unfortunately, we don't talk about the music on this podcast. It's strictly lyrics.
But what we do on this podcast is
alcohol.
What have you got to accompany this 80s cult classic that made it into the mainstream?
So, because
drink that made it into the mainstream, like I had nothing at the end of that sentence really to say what an 80s cult classic drink would be that made it into the mainstream. Pina colada?
It'd probably be pina colada or Campari and lemonade. It'd probably be another shout, but that's disgusting, so I won't be touching it. I've gone for a staple of the Cockney pubs back then, and probably further back to like the 50s when Chas and Dave were growing up. It's a rum and blackcurrant. This is Navy rum. This is what sailors would drink. Yeah, Lamb's Navy rum.
Got some of that in the cupboard that someone left there and you haven't touched it since. I remember I tried pouring it off on you on last time you were here. But
maybe next time. It off on me. Next time.
Next time yeah. I've gone for a cocktail that's a favourite in Africa, actually. Don't know why.
We had a discussion last week about trying to match some of the drinks to the songs.
Yeah, and I don't know why I tried to match a song about Africa to a song about a rabbit. Was it because someone changed their mind last minute about the song they wanted to do? But then I'd already got the ingredients. Maybe I just forgot. I don't know. It's one of those two things is the reason why. But it's called, if anyone wants to make it, it is it's a Nigerian Chapman cocktail. It has 7-Up or Sprite or just lemonade, I guess. But, if you want to be fancy. Fanta Orange. It has several drops of Angostura bitters in it. Vodka. Vodka's lenient. Put as much as you like, and I put quite a lot in. Too much, some would say. But you can also replace that with Campari white rum or white beer. And juice of a lime, juice of a lemon, juice of a sweet orange with some ice cubes. And you can have cucumber slices to garnish, but I didn't because that sounds vile.
Who wants vegetables in the drinks?
But I've got two versions of this drink. I would say if anyone that wants it, it's a very nice sort of it's not too sweet, and because of the mix of the lemon lime and the 7-Up and the Sprite having sugar in, it's not too sweet, and it's also not too tart. But for the second glass of this, I've added some blue caraco to it.
Ooh, yes, that's the good stuff. That's the good stuff.
Nice, isn't it? Yeah, you hear the cubes,
tastemaker.
Yeah, and I'm going to try this one for the first time. So I've tried the one without, which was kind of red color. But let's see what it tastes like with the blue caraco. Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh. A bit cola-esque. A bit like cola bottle-esque, that. Like a blue ice, like a cola ice pop. You know that taste.
Oh. Mine tastes like the Blitz. mine tastes like being in a pub singing around the piano.
A 40s cult classic that made it into the mainstream. There you go.
Very much so. Yeah. Take that Vera Lynn.
I would recommend that. That's very nice, that actually. If I got served it kind of reminds me, when you're on holiday and you get one of those fish bowls in some bar and you pay like a lot of money for it. That's kind of the vibe. I think that's the Blue Carico vibe, though, isn't it? That's what Blue Carico.
Yeah, they chuck that in
usually.
everything.
Yeah, they chuck that in everything, don't they, on holiday? Just to make you forget that there's barely any alcohol in it, really. Oh, sorry, I forgot a crucial component of the cocktail. I do apologize, everyone. It also has blackcurrant in it. It has Vimto in it. So that's also an added element. Yeah, see, so
Manchester's finest. Probably the greatest
Manchester's
thing to come out of
finest,
Manchester, apart from the M56.
Ban us. Fancy a bit of information about this song?
I'd bloody love some information about this song.
Information, that's what I need. Some information. Where did she come from? Information, that's what I need. Some information.
Rabbit is a song by Chaz and Dave from the album Don't Give a Monkeys, which was released as a single on 23rd of November 1980 and entered the UK singles chart at number 66. The song stayed in the charts for 8 weeks and peaked at number 8 on 17th of January 1981. The song was used in a series of adverts for Courage Bitter. Might be Courage, actually.
Yeah.
That's the Office link. There was no international figures available. Shock. The title comes from the Cockney, and you would have had if it was like number 1 in America or something, in the Hot Billboard 100, wouldn't you? The title comes from the Cockney rhyming slang rabbit and pork, meaning talk. The song was recorded at Portland Studios with sound engineer Andy Miller. At the recording, Peacock came up with the bass riff for the intro and other parts of the songs. When the sound engineer was balancing the mix, Peacock tried mouthing Rabbit 8 to the bar on the fade out, which Hodges liked. Peacock, however, thought it was too fast to sing, so Hodges came up with the idea of them both of them singing Full Rabbit to the bar, but one on the on beat and the other on the off beat. They practiced for 15 minutes to get it right and recorded in a couple of takes. The duo performed the song on the children's TV show Tiz Was, and were interviewed by the presenter Sally James dressed as a rabbit. As there was still time before the end credits rolled, sorry, this is one of the best sentences ever. As there was still time before the end credits rolled, Chris Tarrant asked the duo to perform a 10-minute version, which turned into an extended party with the presenters pogoing in rabbit suits and guests cannon and ball dancing the conga.
I mean, this was 80s British kids TV, so this is probably just a cover for some very dark stuff that was going on backstage.
Following the performance, the song rose by over 20 places in the chart, where it eventually reached number 8, becoming the first top 10 hit. A 10-minute performance that Chris Tarrant asked for. The presenters danced on pogo sticks, and cannon and ball did a conga. So there you go. Cannonball, who I exclusively remember from being a child and going to the ex-serviceman club with my granddad, and there was always a poster on the wall saying Cannonball this November or something like that.
And one of them's dead now.
Some information there on Rabbit by Chaz and Dave.
I mean,
10 minutes, bit excessive.
Worth it. I mean, 2.5 minutes is pretty expensive, to be honest. Put it down to a straight 2 minutes and made it punk.
Do you know what I feel like as well? Is it was still the normal 3.5 minutes with the lyrics, and then the extra 7 minutes was just an extended outro of them going rabbit, 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 for 7 minutes.
They must have had dry mouths after 7 minutes of singing that particular line. Could have done with a rum and black. Cheers, I'll drink to that.
It's a good job it was 80s TV this was on and not like 90s mad TV as well, because it would have been, if you were coming in from a sort of ecstasy come down watching the Big Breakfast and they came out doing 10 minutes of this rabbit and Cannon and Ball doing the conga, I reckon about 7 minutes into them saying rabbit back and forth each 4 bars apparently, you might go a bit under. I don't know what you reckon.
and then they get gunged.
The opening of this song then is pretty much just them saying rabbit back and forth, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. Started me to go on.
Yeah. Really annoying, actually. I mean, like really annoying straight off the bat. I mean, number 8 is a miracle, really. I don't mind so much as in Dave stuff, but number 8 in the charts. Imagine this getting to number 8 in the charts now. You can barely get a guitar band in there, never mind
I guarantee if you went onto the current charts right now and listened to song number 8, it'd annoy you more than this annoys you. Guarantee.
Right. That sounds like a challenge.
I'm gonna have a look and see what it is. Oh God, that's rude. It's an artist called Gunna, Gunna, and the song is called "Fuck You Mean."
Yep, you're right. It did annoy me more. There you go.
That was terrible. That was really bad.
Okay.
Well,
So then,
Dan's going into the rest of the show with a new appreciation for the work of Chaz and Dave.
I love this song. I don't know if you know that. The actual lyrics say, "You got a beautiful chin. You got a beautiful skin.
Like
You
Jeffrey
got
Dahmer.
You got a beautiful face. You got taste. You got beautiful eyes." I mean, he lost it there. You got taste. Like, does he mean you've got taste in men, therefore a compliment for himself? Or does he mean you've got good taste in style? Or does he mean you've got good taste buds? You can taste really well.
Or you've got good taste in music and you like hearing the name of an animal sung on the offbeat 8 times.
It would be ironic if he was commenting on her taste in music while singing this song. That's all I'll say. But you got beautiful eyes. You got beautiful thighs. Beautiful thighs. You ever seen a pair of beautiful thighs? I've seen a pair of sexy thighs. Attractive thighs. Beautiful.
Everywhere I go. It's almost like they're running out of rhyming words to compliment on this woman.
You got a lot without a doubt. Quite nice, isn't it? Actually,
this is all very nice. This is a lovely love song, and nothing is going to come along to disabuse me.
No, I hope it stays that way. It's very sweet.
Very nice.
But I think about blowing you out because you won't stop talking. Why don't you give it a rest? Ooh, straight away, right into the. Ooh, that's embarrassing because we said it was quite a sweet song a minute ago, but they've let us down there, haven't they? Think about blowing you out. Could have been worse. You could have said, "I think about you blowing me out." That would have been 80s children's TV. Well, actually, in this, maybe it would have been, to be honest, because you won't stop talking. The rabbit, yep, the rabbit, because she's talking. That's the slang for talk. So she keeps rabbiting on, rabbit.
Is it rhyming slang, rabbit, for talking, or is it just rabbit, as in rabbiting? Did it originally come from rhyming slang?
I think I said in my information it comes from the Cockney rhyming slang, rabbit and pork, me and talk.
Of course, yes, yeah. You did say that.
Literally said it 5 minutes ago, yeah. And then, why don't you give it a rest? Quite annoyed by her talking. There, isn't he? But I think if I found a woman, she had beautiful enough to comment that she had a beautiful chin, beautiful.
If the chin
thighs,
I mean, she sounds stunning.
How much would she have to talk for me to be this annoyed by the talking? If I loved her that much, you got more rabbit than Sainsbury's is the next line. Maybe before our time, but I've never seen rabbit available in Sainsbury's.
I used to shop in Sainsbury's when I lived in Fallowfield, and not once did I see rabbit.
The 80s, though. Different kettle of fish, maybe. 80s. Different kettle of rabbit. Back then.
Have you eaten rabbit?
No.
No.
Not saying I wouldn't, I just haven't. But I feel like it'd be a bit gamey or something, I don't know.
Rabbit and pheasant stew and shit like that.
Yeah. Not for me. It's not that I wouldn't try it if someone presented it to me. I just haven't ever been presented to it because I don't live in the country, probably.
I think I'd much rather have like a goat curry from Africa.
Would you? I think you'd probably buy it, but then you change your mind about eating it last minute and ask for some rabbit. Is probably what you'd do there, I reckon. It's time you got it off your chest. Now you was just the kind of girl to break my heart in two. I knew right off when I first clapped my eyes on you, but how was I to know you'd bend my ear holes too? So again, he starts off quite nice there, and then quickly it denigrates into another insult about her.
It's just, he can't help himself. And this is a common theme from like the other songs. He's just, I don't even, you know, with Adele, all Adele's songs are about someone breaking her heart, and you get to the point where you think if it stinks of shit everywhere you go, then check your shoes. That's as a general rule. And I think old the Chazmeister needs to be doing that. Yeah, because I'm starting to think he's the problem.
Was he married at the time, or because what if he is just talking about a rabbit? That's what you've
He's
not
not.
considered.
He's not talking about a rabbit, Dan. He's not talking about a rabbit. He was married at that time, but
To a
he's
woman or a rabbit?
to a woman. They got married in 1966, and they were married until he died in 2018. How
Okay.
old do you think he was
You've
when this
proved my
song
theory
came
wrong.
out?
Carry on. How old do I think he was?
When this song came out?
Well, based off his attitudes, but I can only look at it in a modern scope.
In his
It's the
look.
kind of attitude and look. I would assume he was sort of, if I was being generous, 45. If I was being honest,
He was 37, Dan. He was 37.
Same age as you.
This is why people drink water nowadays. Because he was like 37 and he looked like 50 odd.
And sounded it and had the attitudes of it.
And sounded it and had the attitudes of it, yeah. I mean, certainly the wife he was married to when he died, his widow, if you like.
His widow.
She was an actor and Playboy bunny and whatever. But yeah, they got married in 1966.
Wait, she was a bunny?
Playboy bunny, yeah.
A bunny?
Playboy bunny.
A rabbit, you might say. Rabbit. Can you do that? I can't. Rabbit. Should we do it? If you do it at 4 bars, so you got rabbit, and then you'd have to do rabbit straight after. Let's see if we can do it. Go on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rabbit.
Yeah. No, it's impossible. and they're playing instruments while they're doing it.
Rabbit. Well, fucking professionals, mate. Professional singer-songwriters. What can you say? But yeah, it's time you got it off your chest. So now he's encouraging her to speak.
Yeah,
can't win, can she? Can't win. Now you was
it's almost like barely any thought has been put into these lyrics.
Not consistent. Now you were just the kind of girl to break my heart in two. Okay, I knew right off when I first clapped my eyes on you. Nice again.
Nice, lovely.
What if the time you got it off your chest was lewd? What if that was a lewd comment? Because he then says it by something nice. It's time you got that off your chest. It's time you got it off your chest. Get your rabbits out. Get your bunnies out.
We'll get
play
to that,
by bunnies. Will we? Okay. I knew right off when I first clapped my eyes on you, but how was I to know you'd bend my ear holes too?
With your incessant talking.
You're becoming a pest.
Like an to burning.
Yeah, not content with the rabbit.
Not even a rabbit anymore.
She's rabbit. Scummy saying scum. It's ironic again for someone singing this song to accuse somebody of fucking being irritating and bending somebody's fucking ear holes. I'll tell you that. Do you think he purposely made the song as irritating as possible to reflect the mood that he was in? Is that what he was going for? Do you think?
It's starting to
Imagine her, right? She knows this song's about her. He's probably not a nice husband. I don't want to, dog to, but let's just say he's probably not great. She knows that he's written a song about her that's out there in the charts where he keeps saying that she won't shut up. She's already a bit like depressed about that. And then she thinks, Saturday morning, he's out of the house for once, thank God. And she goes, right, I'll tell you what will cheer me up. I bloody love Chris Tarrant. Flick on a bit of Tiswas. and not only she goes, oh, for fuck's sake. And she goes, oh, well, it's only 3 minutes, I suppose, and we can watch the rest. And then Chris Tarrant goes, lads, why don't you do 10 minutes? And she goes, oh, fucking hell. She's got to sit there watching somebody going rabbit for 8 minutes, knowing it's about her. Every word that he's saying, every time digging into her soul. And then she goes, nothing could be worse than this unless my all-time heroes, legends of the industry that I've always wanted to meet, unless they were to come out. And Chris Tarrant goes, here's Cannonball doing the conga. They're going out doing that. Presumably, it just says Cannonball doing a conga. I assume there was other people attached. It wasn't just the two of them doing.
I don't think that's a conga.
Smallest conga. No, that's just that's a dance, isn't it? That's just two people dancing.
What is the cut-off point for a conga? How many people does it have to be?
Oh, it's got to be more than 4, I reckon. Four's a sad conga. Four's a bad conga, but it still qualifies. It's kind of like what qualifies as an orgy. I imagine similar rules. The same number of people that qualifies for an orgy are the same number of people that qualify for a conga. And don't get your invites mixed up if you have got one to both. Very different attitudes. Kids usually involved in one of them.
Don't turn up for an orgy.
Depending
with
which
one of
orgy
them
you go to.
garlands on. and all that.
Yeah, I reckon 4 minimum. But I don't know. Like I've seen people saying an orgy is like 3+. I'm like 3 people isn't an orgy. It's threesome. It has a name.
Threesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4 people isn't even an orgy. I'd say that's like it's a couple foursome. But 4+, that's an orgy. If there's 5 people having sex at once, I'd say that's an orgy. And if there's 5 people in a line dancing, that's a conga. Same rules apply. Very similar rules for the orgy and the conga.
Bloody pipe dream. That's what it is.
Very similar rules. Tell you what, the next week you organise an orgy, I'll organise a conga. We'll stick to the same rules, and if they both pan out well, then I don't know why I gave you the orgy. Why do you get the orgy? I get the conga. I don't want the conga.
I think I'd be better sorting the conga, to be honest. I think I can get people involved in that. I can't get. It's a struggle to get one person to do stuff with me. So
similarly, I think I could get people involved in the conga. So in the orgy. So that's good.
Sometimes I could convince one woman to wanna get it on, and then I said, "Oh, there's going to be 2 other people there as well." She'd be like, "No, definitely not. It's bad enough that I know I've slept with you without 2 other people knowing it."
What you could do is we could rent out like 2 big hotel rooms, 2 big hotel rooms or disused warehouse that have a door attached, and you can get the conga going with the let's say what's your best estimate? How many people? You got 7 days. How many people could you get in a conga line in the next 7 days? Do you think for next? It's Monday now. For next Saturday night, how many people could you think you can get into Manchester City Centre in a hotel room doing the conga?
See, if I was doing it on location at wherever I went to, then I think I could get like a couple of hundred. But if I'm having to ferry them to...
You don't have to ferry them. They make their own way there. They're
venue. Yeah, but they're not going to, though, are they? If they're in a bar where they're drinking, I'm not going to be like, "Oh, we're doing an experiment about..."
Well, then people you know.
I don't know enough people to travel to Manchester for me for some little frivolous endeavour.
Okay. It's in the place that it's at then. All right. So
hundred.
Let's just say it's a bar downstairs of the hotel. You know, like when you get a hotel and you get a bar at the bottom. It's a busy Saturday night in there. You go in, start a conga. How many people are you getting? A couple of hundred?
I'll start the bidding at 100. Yeah.
Okay,
how many people do you get for an orgy?
The Saturday night?
Yeah.
A surprising amount. A surprising amount.
Little black box coming out.
Yeah, minimum 100, I reckon. No, you don't want that many. You don't want that many people because what my plan is, You can plan.
It's actually a thing now.
Yeah, so I reckon
it's not just a flight of fancy anymore.
I reckon at such short notice, I reckon you could probably get, if you put it out there online, you could probably get a good 20. I mean, it might be 20, 30 single blokes and one woman, but you could get the numbers there. If you're asking me for an even keel of women and men, then that's more difficult. But if you want me to get 30 single blokes in a room on Saturday night, then yeah, I can do that.
I think I'd have a good mix in mine. I don't think mine would be a sausage fest.
Yeah. Yours is a conga. That's a much easier sell to the women than an orgy in a hotel room that I've organised, isn't it? You're out there pitching for the conga. It's not. I don't think we can compare how the methods there. You go in and go, let's start a conga, and all the women will be on it. They'll be drunk if I walk into a bar. And go, let's go back to my hotel and have an orgy. Everyone would leave. I'd be arrested.
Let's do a bit of role play.
The plan is,
I'll be one of the women that you're approaching for the conga. I'll be one of the women that you're approaching for the conga. For the orgy. You're on orgies. I'm on congas. I'll be one of the women you're going to approach. So you just come over and do what you do to convince me.
For an orgy. Oh, yeah. Good night tonight, then it. Vibe.
My mate had a purse nicked.
What are you drinking?
Some fucker stole my mate's purse. His song's about me.
What are you drinking tonight, love?
Prosecco.
I've got a South African cocktail. You want to try it?
What, you African or something?
No, I'm not. Fancy going to an orgy tonight?
Says he's African.
What? Oh, he didn't hear that. Great. I've got an orgy going round the corner. Any friends that want to join that?
I've lost my friends.
This is starting to sound more like a child the more I do this voice.
Yeah, I don't know why you were doing that voice. It really
I
threw
didn't
me.
commit to a
And
specific accent at the start, and then it just went.
if you get to the point where you have lost my friends and I'm getting that's me then getting a girl that's saying she's lost her friends and she's upset into an orgy. That's not nice. That's not a good time. If I'm going to get someone in an orgy, I want them to be consenting and up for it. I don't want to be tricking lonely drunk women.
This bloody woke mind virus has gone too far, I'm telling you.
No, so come on, let's do it proper. Come up, I'd say hiya.
Are you alright, love?
Yeah, I'm sorry, she's 55. What love? Yeah, yeah, I'm good. You having a good night?
Wants me fags. They don't sell fags in clubs anymore.
Got some
Shit.
fags in a hotel room around the corner.
Yeah, alright then. Show me the way.
Great, there you go. Got number one for the order. Easy as that. There you go. Easy as that.
Well, I don't like your target audience, I'll be honest.
Approaching now, role play you approaching me for the conga.
I love doing I'm from Comic Relief. I'm doing
Pervert!
conga attempt.
Security, pervert.
Come on to the song then.
What did that have to do with this song again? I can't quite remember. But yeah,
I genuinely don't know. I'm looking at the lyrics and I don't know how that. Oh, it's Cannon and Ball.
Oh yeah, that's a novel springboard for orgy chat, isn't it?
I always want to have sex with multiple people when I watch Cannon and Ball.
Now you're a wonderful girl. I don't think he's saying now, like now you've become a wonderful girl. He's saying like, well, now you're a wonderful girl. He's not going like, now you're a wonderful girl. No, I fucking told you to shut up. That's what he's saying.
They got the message.
You got a wonderful smell. Bit weird.
I mean, anything that doesn't smell of horrible things is a wonderful smell for me. If you don't smell of shit and piss, then you smell wonderful, like by elimination. Really,
even that's not a deal breaker. I've seen you out, but
yeah, well,
yeah. You got a wonderful smell, but it's the way you put it. I could get it. You're saying that thing, when you love a woman and you like the smell of them when you're attracted to a woman, but you wouldn't say smell. You'd say like scent or, again, weird compliment this because we said thighs. We thought thighs were weird. You got wonderful arms.
No, I'd say I'm more of a thigh man than an arm man.
Well,
but neither are
saying,
I don't. You have to have them. It helps.
Not even then. Nick. I'm a man in the modern world. What are you saying? What are you trying to say?
6 months.
What are you trying to say? But I don't think I've ever commented. I don't think I've ever seen a woman and thought, good arms.
Yeah, put the arms on that, lads.
Oh, yeah, tasty pair of arms. That. Imagine what she could do with them arms. Oh
God. I bet she could take the bins out with them arms.
As she walks past the building site, hey lads, look at that. Imagine those arms wrapped around you on a cold winter's night.
She'd be a good hod carrier.
You got wonderful arms. Maybe she's got like weapons. I always get country vibes off Chas and Dave.
Do you think they were?
They had a number 8 hit in 1980 on Tissballs for 10 minutes.
Yeah, but which means they didn't live in the country when they were writing this song.
Oh well, I get country vibes of Chas and Dave with the acoustic guitar and the sort of farmer's clothes.
You're mental. You're mental. No,
why?
Definitely.
I don't get East End Cockney gangsters from them.
No, not Cockney gangsters, but East End Cockney pub blokes. That is their whole demographic. That's their whole vibe.
They're always dressed in like farmer clothes and acoustic guitars, aren't they?
No acoustic guitars. No, it's piano and bass.
Out in the country, beating the wives. I don't know.
You couldn't be more wrong. No, it's pub gigs.
I'll be honest with you, I don't know a lot about Chas and Dave. I've never been slightly interested in them.
Me, are
you? No regrets. No regrets.
He's too busy trying to get your congas together.
Orgies, conga was your job. Get it right.
There's a fine line between an orgy and a conga, as we demonstrated about 10 minutes ago.
Fine line, but similar rules.
Not looking anyone in the eye.
And if any,
always from behind.
Quoted on that. That's what I'll say at my funeral. He was a aficionado in the etiquette of orgies and congas. But it is a fine line, is what he always made sure to say to his victims. You got charm. You got wonderful hair. You got
Now,
charm that it means to me, reminds me.
the
Oh,
charm
please, no, sorry.
line. Thank God.
You
the
got
charm,
arms that it means to
the
me.
charm line. I always thought it was charms because that's what you always used to see on like page 3 in the Sun. You know, when they've got the young girl with her tits out, they'd always be like, "Oh, Imogen, 21 from Basingstoke shows off her charms." So that's what I
Oh,
always thought that was.
So you thought that was a metaphor for tits?
Yeah. I mean, like it is in a tabloid Cockney press, basically. Yeah, it's only
Why does
reading
it
the
think
lyrics
Cockney
that
to
realise
you?
it's
Why is
just
it? Why is the
charms.
tabloids Cockney press all of a sudden?
Because the Sun was
Like, every
based in
tabloid is Cockney. Is
London.
it?
Sorry,
Sun's
you
not the
listen
only
to an
tabloid.
interview. Listen to an interview with Kelvin Mackenzie, editor of the Sun back then, and come back to me and apologise.
Well, it's not. It's charm, and he's being very nice actually. So stop trying to make him out to be a bad guy. He's done nothing to deserve that. You got wonderful hair. Fair enough, I guess.
Nice enough,
We
yeah.
make a wonderful pair. Did you used to think that was you have a wonderful pair?
No, nope.
No.
Because that's audible. It's audible that he says that.
Okay.
But it could easily have slipped an S in at the end of charm.
We make a wonderful pair. Doesn't sound like you make a wonderful pair, if I'm being honest. Like I just feel like, and I know it's kind of an old school thing to be like, oh, marriage is like, oh, man and wife, ball and chain. But I found that if you actually like your partner, it makes the whole thing a lot easier. I don't know.
Mad, innit?
It's a secret that I found. No one ever says that. No one ever realized that. But it's something I've recently
No.
found out. If you like the person that you're going to spend your life with, then makes the whole thing a lot smoother than being irritated by
Yeah.
them constantly until you write a inane song that lives on in.
Those 40 years are more enjoyable, aren't they? After that,
They could have used this at Guantanamo Bay. I think they missed a trick, really, didn't they? With this, imagine that. Imagine, never mind death metal. Imagine being locked in a fucking like 2x4 cell, sat there with them blaring rabbit, and like in between
Okay.
that.
I'll tell you where I put the manifest. It's fine.
They give you 1 hour of respite a day where they play the Magic Roundabout theme tune. That's it.
It is was theme.
You give up the secrets any day. I'd rather be waterboarded, to be honest, than listen to this for 24 hours a day, I think. No, I don't mind having a chat. But you do mind having a chat, Chaz
Right,
or Dave.
really?
Who is it, by the way? Who's the one that's...
It's Chaz singing on the piano.
You do mind, Chaz? You do mind having a chat? Oh, he's saying we had a chat, but
Absolutely.
she won't stop having a chat. That's the problem. He's good for a chat, but too much chat.
He wants, how was your day, love? All right. And that's it. That's what he wants. Do you want your tea? Yeah. Done.
But then he'd be going, and she never talks to me anymore.
Yeah.
You can't win. Do you think he loved her really, and it was just for songs? It was just joke
Yeah.
songs, like
I
that
think
way
so.
men used to make mother-in-laws, like you say, make mother-in-law jokes just for the sake of it. It was just
Mother-in-law.
the thing that you did. Like, oh, my mother-in-law. Ooh.
Take
Men
my
used-
mother-in-law, for example. No, seriously, take her.
Yeah, that kind of shit. Cannon and Ball-esque, you might say.
Yes, very much so.
Who knew
Yeah,
Cannon and
I
Ball
think
would come
I
so
think
much
it's
to
all just jokes. I think it's because they've grown up in like the East End of London, like during the war and like post-war and stuff like that. That was like the prevailing attitude. So because their sound is very much of like the 1940s, like, oh, let's have a go on the Joanna in the pub and all that sort of thing. I don't know why I'm doing it in a northern accent. Can't do the Cockney accent. Apologise. I'll work on it for next week. Well, I won't need it for next week. It's fine. But I just think it's the era they were growing up in, and that was like, oh, the trouble and strife and all that for wife and the ball and chain and that sort of thing.
I feel like it is the song. The more I listened to it in preparation for this, because it was last minute, as we've already established, and the more I heard the outro of Rabbit, the more in my head it sort of changed into like him finally snapping and stabbing his wife to death, and he's just going Rabbit, Rabbit. Do you know what I mean? And then he sort of, and after he's just sat there in a bloody mess on the floor. He's just muttering to himself, going, "You had a beautiful chin, you had beautiful skin, beautiful face, but you won't stop talking. Why don't you give it a rest?"
The jury at the Old Bailey was today told of how Mr. Hodges, 37, repeatedly stabbed his wife whilst yelling the word rabbit. He entered no plea in defence.
I knew right off when I first got my eyes on you. But how was I to know you'd bend my ear holes too?
The neighbours were first alerted to the commotion when they smelt something down the bin alley.
You're becoming a pest. he was running around outside the house naked, going, "I've got pests in the house. I've got pests in the house. She's a pest."
Mr. Hodges' bandmate, Dave Peacock, was released without charge.
The neighbours commented, "It wasn't a wonderful smell." As he ran down the street, holding her arms and wearing her hair. She won't stop talking, Nick. She won't stop talking. Yeah, that's what he sort of says in his cell. She won't stop talking.
Don't
She
stop
just-
talking. Why don't you give it a rest?
I just always wanted to be with you, Dave. That's all I wanted to do. Make music with you. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted was to make music. I know, Chaz. I know, but you've got to go away now for a long time. I don't want to, Dave. I don't want to go away. I just want to make music with you, Dave. But she wouldn't stop talking. It was just rabbit, 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 rabbit. Everything. That's all he said for the next 30 years. Whenever the orderlies would go in to feed him his food, he'd just be going rabbit, 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 rabbit.
Oh God! I think we've mined everything that can possibly mine from that song.
No
I don't
one's
think
going to be able to hear
anyone
that
ever
song
needs to listen to
again.
it the rest of the time. I mean, if people are going places where that song is routinely played, then I think that's on them rather than on us, to be honest.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't know about Cockney. It's not a place, is it? Cockney isn't.
There's a place in
Cockney's
London
a
where,
place in London where criminals live.
do you know a fun fact about Chaz and Dave? Do you know they supported the Libertines on tour in 2002?
Oh,
Because Pete Doherty is like their big celebrity fan. Yeah, mental.
he got
Just
out
imagine,
of prison just in time.
imagine you're a teenager, only for Pete to take his cell. Just imagine you're a teenager. You finally found this band that like speak to you. It's the band of a generation for you, and then you go and see them live, and they're just two old blokes singing about how much they hate their wives. Well, old blokes, they're probably like 42 then.
Yeah.
If you've enjoyed the show, then please like, rate, review, and follow to help push us up the charts. Get in touch with us at any of the links in the episode description, or email liquorandlyrics@gmail.com.
Should we spin the wheel to reveal next week's
Wheel of
song,
Mayhem.
Nick? To reveal next week's
Spin
song
it.
for the lovely listeners. Well, I can reveal that next week's song is England's answer to Blink-182 early 2000s hit Year 3000 by Busted.
That'll be a good one, won't it?
It's a song that I have a lot to say about lyrically. A lot.
Brilliant. Well, this
I have
just
to think of
about wraps
think of like a drink they might drink in the year 3000. I mean, at the
Oh,
rate
you
things are
will.
going, it'll be piss probably.
That's about it for us for tonight. Today, whenever you're listening to it, this has been
haunted
episode
everyone's dreams with.
I mean, that's haunted mine. I don't know where I'm going to go from here. Christ almighty. Shall we say goodbye to everyone, though, Dan?
Goodbye.
Bye, everyone. See you next week.